The more than 2-decade silence of Stevie Wonder's son has finally been broken, pulling back the curtain on the hidden tragedy of a legendary family. The world celebrates him as an extraordinary musical genius, with 25 Grammy Awards. Behind that glory lies a life marked by a near-fatal accident, exploitative contracts, and a series of costly romantic scandals. What was the true price of greatness? And what shocking truth was buried behind those eyes? All of it will be uncovered right after this. In 1950, Stevie Wonder was born in Saginaw, Michigan, under the birth name Steveland Hardaway Judkins. He was the third of 5 children. His mother was Lula Mae Hardaway, while his father was Calvin Judkins. Stevie's early life was marked by a serious health condition that caused him to lose his sight. Stevie was born about 6 weeks premature. After birth, he was placed in an incubator and received oxygen therapy. According to Wonder's own account, the amount of oxygen used at the time severely affected his eyes. The condition was identified as retinopathy of prematurity, causing him to lose his sight at a very young age. In a 2004 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Stevie Wonder explained that his premature birth occurred at a time when medicine did not fully understand the appropriate amount of oxygen for newborns. According to him, excessive oxygen damaged an area of his eye. This became the direct cause of his blindness. The Judkins family did not have much money. When Stevie was about 4 years old, the family moved from Saginaw to Detroit, where more opportunities were available for his life. There, Lula Mae Hardaway played an important role in caring for and guiding her son, particularly as Stevie adapted to living with vision loss. From an early age, Stevie Wonder showed remarkable musical ability. At around 3 years old, he began learning to play the harmonica, piano, and drums. His inability to see did not prevent the boy from learning musical instruments. His ability to memorize sounds and sense melodies helped him develop his skills quickly. As he grew older, Stevie continued to devote much of his time to music. By around the age of 9, he could play several instruments and sing in a church choir. These activities brought greater attention to the boy's talent and laid the foundation for his professional career. Detroit was an important center of American music at the time, particularly with the rise of Motown records. Stevie's talent quickly spread by word of mouth throughout the community. People who recognized his abilities introduced him to individuals working in the music industry, bringing Stevie closer to the record label that was becoming famous in the city. But as he reached adulthood, he began questioning his control over his music and earnings. Those disagreements eventually led to a decision that would have a major impact on his career: the defining contract. In 1961, at just 11 years old, Stevie Wonder and his mother went to audition for Motown Records. The visually impaired boy quickly attracted attention with his ability to play several instruments and perform. Clarence Paul, a Motown producer, recognized Stevie's exceptional potential and began helping guide his career. Clarence Paul was the person who gave Stevie the nickname Little Stevie Wonder. The name was widely used during the early years of his career and became the identifying label of a young talent emerging at Motown. To the record company, Stevie was not only a child performer, but also a long-term investment. Because Stevie was still a minor, his mother, Lula Mae Hardaway, signed the contract with Tamla, a label under Motown Records, on his behalf. The initial agreement provided Stevie and his mother with an allowance of about $2.50 per week. The young artist's earnings were placed into a trust fund until he reached the age of 21. Motown quickly brought Little Stevie Wonder into recording and performance activities. His early releases gave him experience in the studio, on stage, and within the professional music industry. His ability to play instruments combined with his distinctive voice set Stevie apart from many other young artists of the era. At just 13 years old, Stevie released Fingertips Part 2. The live recording quickly became a major success and put his name on the Billboard charts. The achievement made little Stevie Wonder one of Motown's most notable young artists. Fingertips, Pintus, also marked an important turning point in Stevie's career. Its commercial success showed that a teenage artist could have a significant impact on the market. Motown continued investing in his talent and brought Stevie before increasingly larger audiences. In the following years, Stevie Wonder continued developing both his performance and songwriting abilities. I Was Made to Love Her, released in 1967, became one of his notable songs. 2 years later, My Chérie Amour further strengthened Stevie's position among Motown's leading artists. As he entered adulthood, Wonder became increasingly concerned with artistic and financial control. He saw a significant gap between the commercial value generated by his music and the benefits he personally received. These issues gradually became the main source of his disagreements with Motown. According to accounts from the period, Stevie had generated substantial revenue for Motown before turning 21, while the amount he personally received was considerably lower. The disparity pushed the young artist to seek greater authority over his music and finances. When the existing contract no longer reflected his position, Stevie Wonder temporarily left Motown to pursue an independent path. The decision came at a time when he had already gained considerable experience in the music industry and was no longer the boy who had first entered Motown's studio at the age of 11. During his time outside Motown, Stevie continued developing his own style and produced several albums. These releases demonstrated his growing artistic control and showed that his success did not depend entirely on the system Motown had built around the young artist. After releasing 4 successful albums outside Motown, Stevie Wonder returned to the label with an entirely different position. He was no longer a teenage artist in need of direction, but an established name capable of determining the future of his own music. His return also came with important negotiations over his contract and rights. Stevie demanded terms that better reflected his role, including issues involving royalties and control over his songwriting. The resulting agreement gave him a deal that was regarded as a significant step forward for a black artist at the time. According to this outline, Motown had to pay Stevie approximately $13 million in royalties under the new agreement. The figure reflected a significant shift in his position. Stevie had moved from being a young artist dependent on a record company to an established artist capable of negotiating important terms. As artistic control gradually came into his own hands, Stevie Wonder began creating a series of works that would take his name to another level. The Golden Decade. In 1972, Music of My Mind and Talking Book were released, beginning a series of highly acclaimed albums in Stevie Wonder's career. These works demonstrated how he combined soul, R&B, pop, and new studio techniques while also reflecting his growing artistic independence following the changes in his relationship with Motown. Talking Book was particularly notable for the 2 songs Superstition and You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Released in the same year, Superstition quickly became one of Wonder's signature hits. The song featured a powerful funk sound with the clavinet processed in a distinctive way that gave the track its own identity. A year later, Stevie released Inner Visions, further expanding the scope of his music and songwriting. The album addressed social issues, urban life, and personal experiences. Higher Ground and Living for the City became 2 of its standout songs, while also demonstrating his ability to combine music with social themes. The success of Inner Visions was clearly recognized at the 1974 Grammy Awards. Stevie Wonder won 5 awards, including Album of the Year. The achievement strengthened his position in American music and established Inner Visions as one of the most important albums of his career. One notable element of Stevie Wonder's music was his use of synthesizers and electronic equipment. He explored studio technology to create new layers of sound for soul and R&B. This approach expanded the possibilities of musical arrangement and influenced many artists who followed. Following Inner Visions, Stevie continued with the release of Fulfillingness' first finale. The album received further critical acclaim and earned him additional Grammy Awards. The consecutive successes demonstrated Wonder's sustained creative output across multiple releases. In 1976, Songs in the Key of Life was released and became one of Stevie Wonder's best-known albums. The large-scale project combined multiple musical styles and included songs such as Sir Duke, I Wish, Isn't She Lovely, and As. The 5 albums Music of My Mind, Talking Book, Inner Visions, Fulfillingness, First Finale, and Songs in the Key of Life are often described as Wonder's classic body of work. These albums brought commercial success and helped establish his position in the history of soul R&B and modern pop music. Throughout his career, Stevie Wonder has won a total of 25 Grammy Awards, placing him among the artists with the most notable Grammy records. He has also received numerous other major awards and honors reflecting the lasting influence of his music on multiple generations of audiences. In terms of sales music industry, statistics commonly credit Stevie Wonder with more than 100 million recordings sold worldwide. The figure spans decades of activity, including numerous albums, singles, and songs that have continued to be released, performed, or reused. Musical success gave Stevie Wonder a powerful public voice, and he began using that voice for issues that extended beyond the stage. A voice for change. In 1980, Stevie Wonder released the song Happy Birthday, written and produced to promote the recognition of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday as a national holiday. The song was more than a musical release and became an important part of his campaign. Wonder continued to take a direct role in advocacy efforts in the years that followed. He organized concerts and public events and appeared at campaigns related to the establishment of the holiday. The goal was to increase pressure on Congress and strengthen public support. During this effort, Stevie Wonder worked with Coretta Scott King, the widow of Martin Luther King Jr., as well as lawmakers and civil rights organizations. The cooperation among artists, activists, and legislators helped maintain pressure in Washington, D.C. Wonder continued taking part in marches and major events aimed at advancing the legislation while using his influence to bring the issue to a wider audience. These activities took place alongside the legislative efforts underway in Congress. At the same time, Coretta Scott King and Stevie Wonder worked together to bring a petition supporting the holiday to Congress. The campaign collected millions of signatures, bringing additional attention to the proposal. Wonder continued his advocacy as the bill moved closer to a decisive stage. As the legislative process reached a critical point, Wonder shifted his focus toward direct advocacy on Capitol Hill. He participated in activities at Congress while lawmakers continued working to advance the bill. The Washington Post reported on this shift as an effort to increase the chances of the legislation being passed. On November 2, 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed the legislation establishing Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Under the law, the holiday would be observed on the third Monday of January. The first nationwide federal observance took place in January 1986. Stevie Wonder's role in the campaign was not the sole factor behind the passage of the legislation. Congress civil rights organizations, Coretta Scott King, and many other activists all played important roles. Wonder's efforts helped bring the issue to a broad public audience and added political pressure. Alongside the campaign for Martin Luther King Jr., Stevie Wonder participated in many other social causes. He spoke out against apartheid in South Africa and supported civil rights movements. These activities expanded his public role from that of an artist to a figure who regularly used his platform to address social issues. His contributions beyond music continued to receive recognition over the following decades. In 2014, President Barack Obama awarded Stevie Wonder the Presidential Medal of Freedom, one of the highest civilian honors in the United States. The award recognized his contributions to music and social causes. Wonder's influence on the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday continued to be discussed many years after the legislation was passed. In 2026, he also participated in a documentary project about his role in the campaign to establish Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The project focuses on the song Happy Birthday and the years of advocacy surrounding the campaign. Alongside his social activism, Stevie Wonder maintained his long relationship with Motown Records. The record company was where he began his career as a child artist and also served as the foundation for many of his most important musical achievements. But beyond those public achievements, Stevie Wonder's life contains another story that receives far less attention: his family and his children. Family secrets. Stevie Wonder's family life has involved multiple relationships and spanned nearly 4 decades. He has 9 children with 5 different women. His first children entered his life in the mid-1970s when Wonder was at the height of his career and building his reputation at Motown. Stevie's first daughter was Aisha Morris, born in 1975 to Yolanda Simmons. Wonder and Simmons were not married, but their relationship left a distinctive mark on his music. Aisha's birth inspired Isn't She Lovely, which later appeared on Songs in the Key of Life and became one of Wonder's best-known songs. Aisha grew up surrounded by music and later pursued a career in the arts. 2 years later, her younger brother, Keita Morris, was born, also the son of Wonder and Yolanda Simmons. Keita continued his connection to music, working as a DJ and producer while building a private life away from the spotlight. The Wonder family continued to grow. In 1983, he had a son, Mumtaz Morris, with singer Melody McCulley. Mumtaz later pursued music as well. 2 other children, Sophia and Kwame, were born in the 1980s. Kwame eventually worked in modeling and music, while Sophia maintained a more private life. A new chapter began when Stevie married fashion designer Kai Millard Morris in 2001. The couple had 2 sons, Kayland and Mandla. The marriage ended in divorce in 2012 after a period of separation. From a young age, Kayland Millard Morris was exposed to both his father's music and his mother's work in fashion. He later pursued design modeling and music. As a child, Kayland traveled on tour with Stevie and had opportunities to play drums on stage with his father. Their connection extended beyond those performances. In an interview with The Glass magazine, Kayland said he had been influenced by both of his parents from an early age, particularly through performance and fashion. His comments reflected Stevie's role in shaping his son's creative interests. Kayland also recalled traveling with Stevie when he was young. After Kayland said Superstition was his favorite song, Wonder invited him onto the stage to play. Those experiences gave Kayland an early connection to music and allowed him to see his father's work from a personal perspective. Mandla Kajay, Carl Stevland Morris. The second son from the marriage was born on the same date as Stevie Wonder's birthday. Mandla later entered entertainment, appearing in A Star Is Born and Dancing with the Stars Juniors, where he showcased his artistic abilities. After his marriage to Kai Millard, Morris and Stevie Wonder built a family with Tomika Robin Bracey. They married in 2017 and have 2 daughters known publicly as Zaya and Nia. Nia, born in December 2014, is the youngest child commonly mentioned in profiles of Wonder's family. Before Kai Millard Morris and Tomika Robin Bracey, Wonder was married to Motown singer Syreeta Wright. They married in 1970 and divorced 2 years later. The marriage produced no children. Wright continued her music career and died in 2004 after battling cancer. By the time Kayland turned 24, he had established his own path in fashion and creative fields, while his relationship with his father remained important. His comments about Stevie showed that he saw him not only as a musical legend, but also as a father who introduced him to the arts from an early age. Stevie Wonder has spent more than 6 decades building a musical legacy across generations. Behind the stages, awards, and timeless songs, is a family, with many stories the public knows little about. The positive comments from his children, particularly Kaylan, show that Stevie's influence reaches beyond music and into the lives of those closest to him. That may be one of the most significant parts of his legacy. If you want to discover more stories behind legendary figures, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next video.